Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down. While it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance, like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We've got some ideas, a speculator, we're going to have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh,
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
It started with a confident smile, but it did not last long. In the middle of the chaos, Gavin Newsom seemed to forget which camera he was talking to, and everyone noticed it. Joe Rogan came in like a freight train, throwing out facts one after another. Then Greg Gutfeld followed right behind, landing jokes sharper than California's tax increases. What happened next was not just criticism. It was a slow-motion blow-up that left nothing standing. Not even Newsom's rock-solid hair gel survived that moment. So grab your popcorn, because this was not just a debate. It was a full-on air meltdown.
Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician, just a stone cold, narrative driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and that's a human being. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
See a cut to Gavin Newsom as the camera zooms in, almost like his hairline is bargaining with an expensive bottle of conditioner. He is frozen at the podium, glowing with the confidence of a man who thinks the world pauses when he speaks. Then, boom, the voiceover hits, loud and dripping with sarcasm. The moment Rogan and Gutfeld locked in on California's golden boy, it stopped being a conversation. It turned into a televised demolition, all tailored suits and sharp hits. This was not a debate. It was a clean wrecking ball smashing straight through Newsom's polished political image.
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes.
Is it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
Let's talk about Gavin. He walks into every room like it is a fashion show for big government. He has perfected the politician starter pack, the toothpaste ad smile, the practiced TED Talk lines, and the leadership style that freezes faster than a buffering scream. He is the golden child of progressive politics. Smooth, confident, always tossing out climate slogans and probably carrying a wallet made of recycled awards. But take away the polished surface and what is left? Just sparkle, ego, and a lot more performance than real progress.
Their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
The development plan.
Watch this. And do not get me started on his climate speeches. Gavin has enough eco-promises to fill an entire Whole Foods aisle. Yet California's power grid gives up at the first strong breeze. They tell everyone to go electric, then warn people not to charge their cars between 4 on 9 and p.m. because the sun is already checked out. The irony is huge, banning gas stoves while half the state makes dinner by flashlight. This is not real policy. It is climate theater. A tragic comedy where people stumble in the dark while pretending it is progress.
And he's the guy who thinks he's going to run for president when, so much of the state is absolutely unlivable. And so every project that he's championed, he's now trying to demonize. conveniently, and people are not that dumb. Like, people have been through it in his state. They are sick of him. They want him to leave. And maybe that's why so many people around him are like, you should totally run for president. So he gets out of the state.
Yes. Move away. Cyrus, did he leave out any?
He did not just leave California. He ran from it. Like someone spotting a glitch in the Matrix and sprinting for the nearest exit. And honestly, who could blame him when the state started looking more like a post-apocalyptic video game than a paradise? Even a heat-loving elk-hunting podcast king eventually had enough. Rogan hit the gas, drove down Interstate 10, and never looked back. He traded smog for Texas skies and strict rules for freedom like a UFC champ swapping kale for steak. And he did not leave quietly. He took the loudest microphone on the planet with him, the Joe Rogan Experience. This is not just a podcast. It is a media giant with over 100 million listeners and an algorithm that keeps CNN awake at night. Rogan's secret? No filters, just facts and fire. And nothing sparked that fire faster than Newsom's lockdown logic. While Gavin sipped fine wine like the world was ending, Rogan called out the hypocrisy so strongly even the French Laundry felt the heat.
Down in Hawaii, you had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
With a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to John. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying, we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think like 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. Like, you guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this. You're not clearing the brush.
And Rogan did not show up alone. He came with a lineup of doctors, economists, and comedians armed with expert-level sarcasm, all pointing to the same shocking reality. California's rules made less sense than a TikTok finance guru using cartoon filters. Small businesses were crushed while giant corporations wafted through the chaos like they owned the place. Health orders felt like they were pulled from a magic 8-ball, random, confusing, and always inconvenient. And through it all stood Gavin, flashing that bright white smile, convinced a little hair gel could fix broken trust. Then came the tech exodus, a modern Oregon Trail, only this time it was Teslas instead of wagons. Rogan did not just talk about it. He packed up and left, moving his studio to Austin, where blackouts are not a daily event. California became hostile to innovation and allergic to freedom. And Rogan's strongest argument was not a chart or a quote. It was his own life.
So, while Californians have lost their homes and they're still suffering from the devastation, what does Gavin Newsom decide to do? Well, now is apparently the perfect time to try and boost his popularity and essentially promote himself. He's launched a podcast. I'll play you the trailer in just a moment, but take notice. Does the trailer that he shared with the world on X, does it even mention the most horrific fire catastrophe that occurred under his leadership, partly as a result of the decisions he was making, like cutting fire prevention? No, this is his chance to talk about his image, insisting that he's no ordinary politician.
He did not need to yell or put on a show. He just took the mic and said what everyone was already thinking. This is not working. Then Greg Gutfeld jumped in like a raccoon on a mission. Armed with a PhD in sarcasm, he does not shout, he slices. Every word lands with a smirk. Every line hits hard enough to sour almond milk. Gutfeld delivers takedowns with cold style, slick hair, perfect timing, and precision that stings. He looked at Gavin's polished shine and said what millions were already whispering. The guy looks like a cologne ad, but he governs like he is playing SimCity blindfolded. Then he pulled back the curtain. Behind the glossy smile were tent cities, boarded up shops, and juice bars barely surviving. A dystopia with a yoga mat. And through it all, Gavin kept smiling like homelessness could be fixed with scented candles and motivational quotes.
But anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, you can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
But Gutfeld did not stop at the surface. He went straight for the core. His real target was the media's obsession with Gavin. Legacy outlets treat him like a modern-day JFK, just with better teeth and a reusable tote bag. But behind the shine is chaos, lightly covered in spray tan. But behind the shine is no clocks were not just jokes. They hit like heavy punches. He tore apart headlines praising Gavin's bold leadership while everyday people were drowning in gas bills, sky-high rent, and grocery stress. Families struggled to afford milk, yet magazines praised his so-called visionary image. Then came the climate comedy. Gutfeld unloaded like a caffeine-fueled truth sniper, slicing through buzzwords like carbon justice and solar dreams. It all sounds noble until you ask who's paying the bill. While regular people sit through blackouts, officials glide around in hybrids like extras in a sci-fi movie. Charging stations are mostly a myth. Gutfeld did not just expose it, he tore it apart. This was not saving the planet. It was an Instagram photo shoot dressed up as policy.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus when all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive. Believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective. And that's a human being. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
Then came the knockout punch, Gavin's White House dream. Whispers of 2028 swirl around him like incense at a yoga retreat. But Gutfeld is not buying it. He tore into the idea that a man who cannot manage one state could run an entire country. He is running all right, Gutfeld snapped, but it is from responsibility, not toward the presidency. The jokes almost wrote themselves. Newsom's White House fantasy felt like trying to franchise a restaurant that just failed 3 health inspections. The sign looks amazing, but the kitchen is a disaster. The freezers are broken and the online reviews are on fire. Literally, Gutfeld did not just joke. He shattered the illusion. Every punchline carried a harsh truth even Gavin's PR team could not spin. Then came the ultimate tag team. Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld like twin wrecking balls smashing Newsom's myth. Rogan brought the facts. Gutfeld brought the fire. Together they proved Newsom's leadership does not just miss. It wipes out the whole target.
Runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
He did not yell, wave his arms, or throw a tantrum. Rogan just spoke with that calm, steady tone that lands harder than a scream. People are leaving. Businesses are closing. Homelessness is rising. I moved for a reason. That voice hit like a velvet-wrapped hammer. Rogan was not there to entertain, and that is exactly why it cut so deep. Then Gutfeld stepped in. Same precision, different style. Where Rogan broke it down with logic, Gutfeld roasted it with flair. He read the government script like a stand-up comic trapped in the worst play ever. Every line dripping with disbelief. Rogan reached the thinkers, people hungry for facts, proof, and reality. Gutfeld reached the skeptics, the ones who stopped trusting mainstream news when slogans replaced common sense. Rogan's fans shared charts and clips. Gutfeld's fans just pointed at the burning chaos and said, there it is.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has been facing major calls to resign over his appalling handling of the deadly California wildfires. And just to quickly recap, these were the most destructive wildfires the state has ever seen. More than 16,000 properties were destroyed. The cost of the fires is estimated to be more than $200 billion. And for businesses in LA County, the future is looking grim. It's projected businesses will continue to lose billions of dollars over the next 5 years due to
But no matter their style, Rogan with icy precision and Gutfeld with fiery sarcasm, they landed on the same harsh truth. Gavin Newsom is not leading, he is performing. And the reviews? 2 giant thumbs down. This is not just failure. It is failure covered in glitter. He is like a movie trailer promising a masterpiece but delivering 90 minutes of confusion, slow speeches, and empty slogans. Rogan and Gutfeld were not fooled for a second. Coming from opposite sides, they saw the same illusion and tore through it with skill. Gavin is the walking, talking symbol of style over substance. And the speeches, few results. When they ripped off his polished mask, it stopped being simple commentary. It became a full political intervention. One used a wrench, the other a chainsaw. And what they revealed left people across the spectrum nodding in shock.
You know, when I went there, I had a great relationship with President Xi. We got along very well. And they treated me better than anybody's ever been treated. And I said, this air is good. Do you know they closed every factory 1 week before I got there from within 200 miles?
That's like what Gavin Newsom did when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco.
He cleaned it up.
He cleaned it up. He got rid of all
Isn't
the
that
homeless
terrible
people.
in a way to think, you know, he cleaned it up and then it became a pigsty.
Well, the
He
dumbest
is-
thing is he said when your friends come by, when you have visitors, you clean up your house. Like, how about just keep your fucking house clean?
Can you imagine?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever
I
heard.
keep bringing up Gavin. Well, other than my respect for his work in American Psycho, he's starting to distance himself from his party's worst ideas. Newsom, a guy who hates fossil fuels but could still bring down the price of gas by wringing out his hair, once proclaimed that his state would be a sanctuary to all who sinned.
And suddenly it all clicked for everyone. Libertarians, conservatives, burned out millennials, disappointed hipsters, even that barista who swore off politics after the last election. Different lives, same reaction. They realized maybe the real problem was not just failed leadership, it was the non-stop show. And just when it could not get any wilder, boom. The final montage hit like a movie knockout. By then, it was not about who won but what got revealed. Gavin Newsom did not just face criticism, he got exposed. The curtain fell, leaving only filters, flash, and fake fixes. Rogan could release a full episode called California Collapse Volume 2. Gutfeld might turn it into a viral skit, Gavin's Glamour Tour, Homelessness Edition. And Gavin, will he reflect? Of course not. He will probably post a wind turbine selfie with a caption like, leading with vision. Because for him, it has never been about change. It has always been about the performance.